Hello everyone and welcome back to my craft room. My name is Whitney and today we are going to work on something I'm super excited about, fake donuts. I'll also share a trick to reduce your dry time and save on clay. I am super happy with how these came out. I think they look especially lifelike and I love the little sprinkles. I'll have a full list of all the materials in the description box. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's get crafting. First, a quick detour for some proper inspiration. Instead of making the entire donut out of clay, I'm using a tinfoil base. I've done full clay food projects before, and they've taken days to dry. When you're in the crafting zone, you don't want to wait that long. Once I had the size and shape I wanted, I wrapped the tinfoil in tape to secure its shape. I found this was necessary because the foil wasn't holding together on its own. Using this method, my donuts were ready to work on in just one day, and it saves a ton of clay. I got the idea from watching people make clay sculptures with wire and foil, and it worked even better than I had hoped. Once the foil base is ready, I cover it with a layer of clay. Looking back, I should have used a bit more clay on the inner ring, but overall, I'm very happy with them so far. To get that realistic donut texture, I crinkle up a ball of tinfoil and dab it over the surface of the clay. Now for the least fun part, waiting for them to dry overnight. I checked on them first thing in the morning and was so excited to see the clay was almost completely dry. I did find a few spots on the inner ring, but it was mostly dry enough to continue. If you try this, you could wait a few more hours for it to dry completely. Now that the donuts are ready, let's move on to painting. I'm using a light beige paint to cover the top of each donut. I find it's easier to paint one side at a time to keep as much paint off my hands as possible. Next, I'm carefully shading some pastel chalk with a blade to use for shading. I use a mixture of golden yellow, brown, orange, and rusty red. I start with a lighter mix for the initial shading, followed up by a darker blend to match the slightly uneven look of a cooked donut. I applied this mixture with a dual-ended makeup applicator, and while it worked pretty well, it ended up breaking, so I just used my fingers and the brush head to blend the rest. I personally love this method. It gives the donuts a more realistic shade than using paint alone. Next, I'll add a layer of Mod Podge. I use this stuff in so many of my crafts because it seals really well and gives a beautiful finish. To make the fake frosting, I'm using a mixture of cornstarch, acrylic paint, and Mod Podge. This thickens the paint to create that perfect frosting look. If you try this at home, just make sure the mixture is still a little runny. If it's too thick, the paint will crack once it dries. Now I can paint the frosting onto each donut. The more I paint them, the more I want to eat donuts. I should have picked them up earlier during my little inspirational detour. To finish them off, I'm adding some cute fake sprinkles before the paint dries. I chose these specific colors because I'll be using these donuts for an upcoming cosplay I'm really excited for. No project is complete without a bit of cat hair in the paint, thanks to my big helper. add one final coat of Mod Podge to make sure the sprinkles stay put. And with that, my donuts are ready for display. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video.